Hey guys, welcome to Phonlab. This is MJ. So I'm here at Western Union because we're going to show you what one of the biggest scams are on the internet for iCloud removal. Let's get involved. Okay, so before we get into the video here, which shows how they pull off this scam, first and foremost, I did go to Western Union. I did wire this vendor or service $175, and I'm going to show you exactly everything from beginning to end. And what we're doing here is we're trying to protect our members so that and other folks here on YouTube who are looking for iCloud removal. So that being said, I want to talk about our direction here at Phonlab. So we are going to become the little iCloud watchdogs when it comes to removing iCloud. This is there's a whole lot of information out there. When I started researching iCloud removal, it really is confusing and it really is hard to make sense of it. And they take advantage of that. And we're going to show you how they take advantage of that. We're going to show you the methods that they use, the tricks that they use, all the information that you need to know is going to be at phonlab.teachable.com. And so what we're going to do is every week we're going to test out a vendor. They're not going to know it's us. We've got things in place. So we're going to put in test orders. We're going to show you how they remove it. What we're specifically looking for is direct source. Direct source is the individual or vendor has direct source to Apple's servers, and they can remove that iCloud account without doing something illegal like phishing. And we're also going to be showing you in the near future here. We're going to be showing you an actual iCloud phish. We're going to set somebody up to phish our iCloud account, and we're going to show you how they do that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to show you everything at phonlabtech.com or phonlab.teachable.com so that you can protect yourself online. Now, what we don't want you to do is we don't want you to go out there and take the risk and spend the money. We're going to spend the money ourselves, and we're going to test out these services, and then we're going to post our findings over at Phonlab so that you have the best possible chance of removing iCloud the right way. So that being said, let's get into the video here, and I'm going to show you what happened during this scam. Okay, so now that you know that Phonlab is a reliable source for pointing out the iCloud scams out there, we're also, again, as I mentioned, we're going to be listing vendors or services that can get it done. Now, here is what happened, and here is how the scam works. I'm going to walk you through this. We're going to walk you through the communication and the ending here. And this is going to help you avoid scams online. What we do recommend is that you stick with Phonlab. Let us spend the money and let us lose the money. So we don't want you to lose money. We'll go ahead and fork out the dough and test the vendors so you don't have to. And then if we find somebody that is reliable and the test works, we'll post our findings. But again, when you use these services, they're generally short-lived, and you're taking a risk in any case. So let's start here with GSM Hosting. Now, GSM Hosting is a great website. This is not to say that GSM Hosting is bad, but like any forum, you get your bad apples. And so here's what we did. So there's two sections on GSM Hosting that you can locate iCloud removal. The first is the premium sales section, and I think you have to either pay or you have to have been on GSM Hosting for a while to be invited in that section. The next section is the main sales section. And so what we did is we went into this main sales section here, and you can review what people or what these so-called vendors are saying that they offer. And you're going to see a lot of things that say 24 hours, 100%. Now, this guy is just saying clean IMEIs. Now, what they mean by clean IMEIs is those IMEIs that are not in lost mode. And that is actually very few and far between. Most of the iCloud locked devices that you get are actually in lost mode. So what we did was we searched on here for lost service, and we came up with this guy, GSM_3GN. He's got a lot of stars and he's got a lot of thanks, but that doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter how long you've been on here or what kind of rating you're getting. The important thing is that you know the difference between somebody who has direct source and somebody who is phishing. And I'm going to show you how we found this out. So this guy is claiming clean, loss supported, no matter, 1 to 24 hours. Okay, worldwide service. And of course, they use all the fancy terms like stable and tested and supported. And he's basically saying, that he can get this done. Now, he listed his contact information for Skype. Now, before we get into the actual correspondence between Phonlab and this guy or whoever it is, I want to point out a couple of things. When iCloud service is offered, a lot of this stuff is offered by foreigners, and their English is not that good, so you've got to kind of read between the lines here on what they mean. There's also a lot of confusion on there, and that confusion is to confuse you so that they make money. And so you need to ask a lot of questions. And when you ask those questions, make sure that those questions are clear and what you're asking. Now, we're going to go over here to Skype. First of all, before we get over there, this is the person that we contacted on Skype. Now, I want to point out something. It's probably a good bet this isn't who we're talking to. We've worked with many vendors at Phonlab. We've reviewed them. And that's why we're going to go ahead and start posting these reviews now. Instead of just reviewing somebody and walking away, we're going to publicly put them out there. We're going to expose all of this. It's a good bet this isn't the guy that is doing this. It's probably some poor sucker online and this guy stole his picture. We don't know. It could be him. It couldn't be. But what we've found out in the past is all of these people that provide these services do not want to FaceTime with you. They will not provide you with a good contact phone number. It's usually a Google Voice number. And the reason why is that they're ghosts. And they're ghosts online. So they don't want to be found because they're doing things that are not legal, like phishing. Okay, so let's head over to how the whole thing started. So we contacted him. Now, I was operating under Android Hawaii. When Phonlab does this test, it could be anybody. So if you're a vendor and you're watching this, you never know. It's not just going to be Android Hawaii that's going to be testing you. We have lots of folks that we can utilize for these tests. But for this video, I wanted to go ahead and put up something myself. Now, I opened up the conversation by asking him if he can clean lost in 1 to 7 days. And he says, how can I help you? And I tell him I've got a 7+ that I restored and it's iCloud lock. The IMEI shows lost and I want to get fast service removal. I'd like to know how much you're charging and how long. Now, he gets back to me and tells me that it can be done in 24 hours. Or he asks me if I need it done in 24 hours. I say yes. And he gives me another option, which is 1 to 5 days. And then he quotes a price. And so I say, okay, well, what types of payments do you accept? Now, I'm going to go over the payments and why this is a risk. Because when they're using Skrill, Western Union, MoneyGram, Rio, NetTeller, the reason why they're using those is they offer no buyer protection. And when you are using services online that offer no buyer protection, they can run with your money and you're stuck. So we say, okay, we basically say, do we have to create an account? Do we have to register? Basically, do you have a website? He says, no, I'm direct source, direct. Send here and get done. So I say, okay, great. I'll contact you later. And I have PayPal. So I basically tell him, where can I Western Union the payments to? He says, you can pay Western Union. Fees I pay. Well, gee, thank you, man. Appreciate that. So he's going to save me some money. He's going to knock off the fees. So basically what he's telling me is that instead of sending 190 and paying whatever the fee is, that would have put it over 200 bucks, he's going to knock my price down to 175, and I'll pay the fees on 175 instead of the fees on 190. And that is, of course, him trying to take credit for paying fees. He didn't pay any fees. I basically just paid a lower amount and I paid the fees. So let's clarify that right there. And he basically says, so in 3 hours you can send the money. And I say, yeah, yes. Okay, minutes, send IMEI. So he wants me to send the IMEI number. Now, this is where it starts to get a little weird. So I just send him the IMEI number. I'm not sending him a picture of the iCloud lock screen. He doesn't want the UDID. He just wants the IMEI. And I say I'm transferring it from the US, and here it is. Well, where am I transferring it to? It's not to me, of course. It's to my friend in Kosovo. Kosovo? And he tells me again that the fee is 15 bucks, and it's 175, and he's going to pay the fees. He didn't pay any fees. I paid the fees. He just lowered the price. So here's the name we got, Sokol Thaki in Kosovo. And then he says, got it, okay, I say, okay, I'll send it at 10 a.m. He says, okay, let me know when the payment is sent. IMEI can be done. Remember this, because we're going to get down here at the bottom of the conversation when it gets real interesting. He says the IMEI can be done in 24 hours, so he's processing now. He's processing now, okay? Because you need fast to be done. Of course we do. We're on here to review you for Phonlab. If you have direct source, we'd love to review you so that our members can assist their customers. So I say, will do, yes, please, that would be great. It's 8 a.m. I tell them I'm taking my daughter to school. I'm going to go over to Western Union when they open at 10. Thanks again for your help. I'll text you when I get the tracking number. Okay, so after that, he tells me that I will get unlocked at 1600 my time. That's 4 o'clock for you non-military folks out there. That's the fastest he can do. And he asked me if that's okay. I said, perfect. He says, okay, very good. Talk to you later. And so the time goes by here. We get up around 10 o'clock, and I tell him I'm going to send. So what I do is I verify that it's going to Thaki, Sokol Thaki in Kosovo, and I'm sending 175 bucks. And I let him know I'm in line, and so I go ahead and send him this. So there's our tracking number, 805-061-8907. That's the control number. We sent the 175 bucks. And he says, okay, thanks. See you later on street. So I didn't get what he meant by that. But he says, okay, yes, very cold walking. Of course it's cold. You're in Kosovo. It's not your friend, buddy. You're the guy in there. So he says, see you later, bye. And I said, so I said, okay. I said, is it going to be done by 1600? And I basically go back and review the message. And time goes by. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to keep everything kind of friendly. And so he asked me if I want to submit more IMEIs. And I say, sure. But I ask him how much are discounts in blocks of 10 or 20. So he quotes me prices of $150 for 10 and $120 for 20. And then, of course, if I use their slow service, it'll get knocked all the way down to 90 bucks, which is a great price. And that's it. So basically, we get over to 4:15, and I say, hey, it's 4:15. You said it would be done by 4 o'clock. I'm just checking on my order. And he says, sorry, sit. He meant to say shit. Sorry, shit. I miscalculated wrong. It's 3 a.m. here. In 8 to 9 a.m. done, I was watching. So what he's saying there is that by 8 or 9 in the morning, the iCloud will be removed. And, of course, he's support 24/7. We really appreciate that. So at 2 a.m., I get up. You know, I'm one of those guys. So I get up and I'm like, I'm just checking on my order. I don't hear back from him. I fall back asleep. I remind him with the receipt here. And so now I'm going to put a little pressure on our friend. And I tell him, just so you know, if you're trying to ignore me or rip us off, We're going to post you as a cheater on GSM hosting and on YouTube. I told him I'm going to give him the rest of the day. Your story will be posted on Phonlab. And basically, I let him know who exactly I am, that this is an actual review test for our members. So he gets a little scared and he says, you will have unlocked your device in a few hours. This is at 5:48 a.m. We wish him good luck, and he says he's sleepy. So I get back to him about 9 o'clock in the morning and basically remind him. He says, I'm not running with your $190. Don't worry. And then he wants to speak with my team leader. Well, I let him know who I am. I'm MJ. I'm the creator and founder at Phonlab. I'm the leader. You're talking to him. And he asked me if I have a web. And basically, what I just tell him, this is what we do, man. We basically find people that have direct service, and we expose the people who scam or phish. So now he's going to roll over on his buddies over at GSM Hosting. He says, okay, I admit your job that you're doing for World, give me web URL, need to upload 10 scammers. So he's going to roll over on 10 of his buddies now. And so I remind him he's being reviewed. Now, what I like to do is I like to put a little pressure on these guys. One, because they're taking people's money, and it bothers me. So he says, so basically what I do is I tell him, look, you're telling us as of yesterday that you'd have this done, okay? And I let him know that we know all about people out there that claim to have direct source and phish the information. So let me tell you what I'm talking about here. So this guy had a deadline, or he said he was going to have it done in 24 hours. It wasn't done. And the reason why it wasn't done is that we think he's phishing. So he probably sent out a bunch of phishing emails, or he didn't do any at all. I don't think he did any, because all he got from us was the IMEI number. He didn't get anything else. He didn't get the picture of the iCloud locked screen. He didn't get the UDID. And basically I tell him, look, you can always give up and send the money back. And I wish him luck. This is my favorite part. He says, you are top #1 psychotic man that I've ever seen. I appreciate that. I've never been #1 at anything, but I appreciate being the top #1 psychotic man. And I just let him know you're stealing people's money by promising fast direct service, and then you're not doing it. I sent you 170 by $5, and you're not removing iCloud. You're dodging me and saying anything. So I'm not joking about the review in the video. And then I ask him, why are you lying and not removing iCloud when I asked you and I paid a lot of money for it? And I remind him what I did, and he says, you need wait 48 hours max. You're not giving option. And I basically end it here. Look, you're just making excuses, man. You make me sick. And that's it. So again, I want to go over how you can avoid this. And so remember, if you're just joining us here on YouTube, we do encourage you to come over to Phonlab. That's phonlab.teachable.com. And what we're doing over there is we're doing something completely different that's never been done before. We're going to expose all the scammers online that are taking your money claiming to do iCloud removal. And we have some theories on this. There's guys out there that will claim to do 30 or 40 orders, and they could have 10 people that submit 30 or 40 IMEIs. Well, they don't really need to do anything. They could just sit for a month, check the IMEIs, and by default, some of those are going to be removed by the prior owner themselves. All they have to do is just say that they did it, and they're collecting free money. So there's a lot of scams on GSM hosting, in particular. Now we can't reach it. So there's a lot of scams out there concerning iCloud. The important thing is that you keep yourself safe, and that you make sure that you're not that you're not falling for these. So what I mean by that is, if you are actively looking on GSM hosting or another forum, and you get these guys out there that say that they can do iCloud service, they can't. if they keep dodging you and you're sending money to them, it's just a scam. What they're doing is they're just phishing, hoping that somebody bites, or they're just going to keep your money and they're just going to run with it. So again, stick with us here at Phonlab, phonlab.teachable.com. Be the future of mobile. We're great for cell phone shops. For your customers, we're providing new and exclusive tutorials every week, and we're providing information on iCloud removal. Again, we're going to get some iCloud removal guides up. These are going to be reviews. They're strictly going to be reviews of vendors. We're going to do test iCloud removals to make sure that they have direct source. We're going to cover everything from clean to lost mode, and we're going to cover it all here at Phonlab. So make sure you stay tuned with us. If you have any questions, leave your comments below. You can also send us an email, phonlabtech@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.